The stars have finally aligned, and the Los Angeles Chargers just caught the break of a lifetime exactly when it matters most. We are staring down a playoff path that looks less like a gauntlet and more like a golden opportunity to shock the entire world. If Jim Harbaugh didn't have this team believing before, he certainly does now, because the road to glory just got a whole lot smoother. Before we dive into why the Patriots should be terrified of this matchup, do me a massive favor, hit that like button, share this with every Bolts fan you know, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a second of this playoff run. Can you actually believe we're here? 2 years into the Harbaugh era and the culture shift is complete. We've spent months wondering if this franchise reboot could actually work, and now, we're heading into the postseason with a matchup that is, frankly, a dream come true. For weeks, we've been saying it, give us the New England Patriots. Why? Because on paper, this is a nightmare for them and a vacation for Justin Herbert. Let's talk about the biggest gift the Chargers could have asked for, the New England pass rush, or lack thereof. The Patriots are sporting a bottom 10 pass rush in the entire league. They have the 7th fewest sacks and they are absolutely struggling to generate any heat from the edge. When you can't get to the quarterback, you're playing a dangerous game, especially when you're facing a guy like Herbert. They've been forced to rely almost entirely on 2 players to do the heavy lifting, and one of their anchors, Harold Landry, has been cratering down the stretch while nursing multiple injuries. Think about that for a second. The Chargers' biggest Achilles heel all season long has been the offensive line. We know it, they know it, and every defensive coordinator in the league knows it. But if you're facing a team that literally cannot exploit your biggest weakness, the game changes. I saw this firsthand when the Detroit Lions played the Chicago Bears at the end of the year. The Lions' O-line was struggling, but because the Bears couldn't generate pressure, the Lions just steamrolled them. That is exactly what is on the table for the Chargers this week. Now, I know what people are saying. Look at the Patriots' record. Look at the points they've put up. But let's get real for a minute and pull back the curtain on that schedule. Is it possible they're a good team? Sure. But is it more likely they've spent the year bullying the bottom dwellers of the NFL? Absolutely. Look at the wins: New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa, New York, Cincinnati. That is a list of the bottom third of the league. Every time they stepped up in class against a team like Buffalo, they struggled. Even their big win against Baltimore feels like an outlier when you see them losing to a team like Vegas. Question of the day: do you think the New England Patriots are legitimate Super Bowl contenders, or are they just a product of the easiest schedule in the NFL? Let me know in the comments below. I want to see the debate on this one. It feels like we finally know who everyone is in this playoff field. We know what the Steelers are. We know what the Jags are. But the Patriots are this giant question mark that everyone is afraid of just because of the logo on the helmet. Don't let the name fool you. This isn't the dynasty of old. This isn't a team that's going to walk in and hammer you 42-10. This is a matchup that favors Los Angeles in almost every tactical category. And let's look at the bracket, because this is where it gets really spicy. If the Chargers, as the 7th seed, pull off this win, they head to Denver to play the Broncos. We just saw that game. Yeah, the Chargers lost 19-3, but the Broncos were playing for their lives for that 1 seed. Even then, Denver looked methodical but struggled immensely in the red zone. They didn't look like a juggernaut, they looked like a team that can be beat. The beauty of this year's AFC is the lack of boogeymen. Remember the days when getting into the playoffs meant an automatic exit because you had to face prime Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Ben Roethlisberger? As a fan who has seen some lean years, I remember that feeling of just happy to be here because the wall was too high to climb. But look at the field now. We're talking about going up against Drake May and Bo Nix. They might be good players one day, but are you telling me you'd rather face Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead in January? Absolutely not. Think about the alternative. No Travis Kelce catching 4-yard hitches and falling forward for a 9-yard gain on 2nd and 1. No Mahomes magic. The Chargers have a path that avoids the absolute giants of the era. This is the year to seize the moment. We have an elite, superstar quarterback. We have a defense that can be dominant. And most importantly, we have the history. The Chargers have won the last 2 head-to-head matchups against New England, including that absolute 40-7 demolition last season. Sure, rosters change, but that "we can win out East" mentality stays in the building. If you look at the tail of the tape, the Patriots are solid, but they aren't spectacular. Offensively, the Chargers are right there with them, averaging more rushing yards and a full touchdown more per game. On the defensive side, New England allows about 18.8 points per game, which is respectable, but they are hemorrhaging yards on the ground. From Week 10 to Week 18, opponents were gashing them for nearly 5 yards per carry. Do you see the formula here? If the Patriots can't stop the run and they can't pressure the quarterback, Jim Harbaugh is going to have a field day. He wants to line up, smash the ball down your throat, and let Justin Herbert pick you apart when you're forced to stack the box. This is Chargers football at its finest. We just need Herbert to be that hero we know he is. We need him to have one of those Mahomes-esque playoff runs where he just puts the team on his back and you tip your cap because there's nothing the defense can do. The offensive line is the concern, it always will be, but the Chargers have shown an objective ability to drag this roster into the postseason despite the injuries. With an elite defense and an elite signal caller, the field is wide open. No one is losing sleep over the Jags. No one is terrified of the Steelers. The Texans have a great defense and C.J. Stroud is the real deal, so maybe there's some respect there, but overall? This is the most wide open the AFC has looked in a decade. The season is a long, grueling grind. It feels like it takes forever to get to this point, but now that the lights are the brightest, everything is falling into place. We caught the lucky break. We got the matchup we wanted. We have the quarterback who can win it all. It's time to stop talking about what if and start talking about what's next. The playoffs are a special time, it's what we dreamed about as kids, watching the biggest teams on the biggest stages in those standalone games. Now, it's our turn. It is time to go out there and prove that the Los Angeles Chargers aren't just a playoff team, they are a championship threat. The formula is simple: run the ball, limit the turnovers, let the defense fly to the ball, and let number 10 be the superstar he was born to be. I'm hyped, I know you're hyped, and the city is ready. Let's see if Jim Harbaugh can finish what he started and take this team on a deep run that no one saw coming. Make sure you drop those comments, let me know your score predictions for the New England game, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one as we march toward the Super Bowl.